Right, welcome back to our special live LinkedIn broadcast from NAACAM 2025 here from the friendly city, the Eastern Cape. And joining us in the hot seat now is Jabu Selumane, who's the CEO and Executive Director from the AITF. Explain it. What does it mean?
Yes.
Because we've got a lot of people that aren't just involved in the automotive sector watching, so they might not understand. Give us a background.
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting us. It's a privilege to be here in the windy city.
Come on, it hasn't been that bad. It's my hometown.
I played golf here, so it was windy.
Yeah, but you also played golf at Humewood. I mean, which is probably, for those of you who don't know, Humewood is wonderful when there's no wind, which is very seldom, but it's a hell of a course.
Yeah, so jump back to your question. AITF stands for Automotive Industry Transformation Fund. In short, we are managing what is called the Equity Equivalent Investment Program, which is a piece of the BBBE legislation on ownership. So companies that are multinationals or foreign owned that seeks to comply with the ownership element but are unable to sell equity apply to the DTIC to be able to be granted the EEIP equivalent investment program in order for them to comply with those provisions. So we are managing that on their behalf.
Jabu, that must be really important for our industry because especially with multinationals, there is no ways to change and transform the local economy.
Yes.
How does that process then get managed? Is there a training up, an upskilling process, or does that get outsourced? How does that work?
So it gets done through us. So what we do is we receive capital from the 7 OEMs who are participating. I'll name a few. BMW, Ford, Nissan, who are in the inland. You've got Mercedes-Benz, Isuzu, and VW, who are in the Eastern Cape, as well as Toyota, complementing the coastal players. Their role with this EEIP is simply to draw capital to the AITF that we in turn fund minimum 51% black-owned entity, so that the equity they could not sell as multinationals is reflected into their own value chain in terms of the share of black-owned companies that get representation in the entire value chain. So we look at various things. We look at component manufacturing activities. We look at downstream activities, which is retail and distribution. We also look at side stream because the sector is evolving, so it's important to look at adjacent industries as well and so on. But yeah, involved in it obviously is to try and pin it down to what we call is the South African Automotive Master Plan.
2035.
2035.
Yes. It's ever changing and evolving, but it has to because things are moving so fast in the industry. But everyone talks about like localization, and it's almost like become, thankfully, a buzzword at the moment. I know like SATMC with the tires, they're talking about homegrown, that initiative, because everyone says live local, love local, support local, but yet they're hitting order on Temu.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's so important that we invest in local economies because they're investing in the livelihood of people in our country. We've got such an unemployment issue. The potential is massive in the automotive sector, but we've got to remain competitive. So that must be quite a challenge managing that path.
Look, localization for us to either widen it or deepen it. Widening it meaning attracting newer investments. Deepen it meaning creating scale for tier 2, tier 3, to some extent tier 4, because in South Africa we've got a very good base of some of the minerals that we can beneficiate to integrate vertically in order to create scale, because South Africa sits with, if I may to make an illustration with the triangular, our triangular is facing down. If you look at the developed economies, the triangular is facing up, meaning you've got a big presence globally of SMMEs at the bottom, meaning minerals are beneficiated, processed, and vertically integrated up. In South Africa, is the other way around.
It's shipped out and we buy them back.
Correct, which is affecting obviously the capability to fully localize. So I think the importance of us focusing on creating scale, which one can be the volume, to make sure that the business case does become viable for us to localize will be one thing, but the policy environment is going to be quite key in ensuring that we put policy framework that supports the localization drive of key capabilities that we have. But 3, I think to use, for example, the government to be able to procure locally produced components or locally produced cars in order to be able to drive the economy of scale and so on, but make also policy environment that sort of
conducive to developing,
to industrialization than to, I think, have a situation where our biggest share at this point in time is more imported products than products that are made in South Africa.
Jabu, I guess as well. I mean, I know we're sitting here doing this with Nedbank Commercial Banking, and for me, I worked with their manufacturing roundtable a few months ago. They're quite proactive in terms of getting out there, and like what you're talking about now, it's so important to help guys to understand, number one, where do they go, where are the opportunities, but to make that a reality requires funding and requires support. So is that also an important relationship that has to be, all these people come together?
Yeah, it is. I mean, but let's be quite honest, funding will follow better or good business cases. I think from an AITF perspective, we've been lucky because we don't only just do funding, we also have what is called access to market. So the OEMs that we manage their capital for not only provide funds, but they provide access to market, which becomes a guarantee. Right?
Because they've invested in their business.
Correct. So I think that access to market is key, because what it does, it gives a guarantee to the business case, and I think you then complement it with the financial capability to support these companies or entrepreneurs.
Just to wrap up, how important is an event like this? For NAACAM, I know every 2 years they do this. How important is it that we get all these guys together, whether it is playing golf, whether it is wine tasting, whether we've got conferencing? How important is it?
More than anything else, this should be seen as a platform that serves as a catalyst, than as a showroom or showing products and services. Should be a platform where deals are made, contracts are signed,
conversations are started,
matchmaking happens, and so on. So I think for me, this is very key. 2025 NAACAM show and beyond, I think, can be used as an accelerator, complementer of the broader activities that we're all trying to, I think, rally behind.
Brilliant. Great to have you. That was Jabu Selumane, who's so nice to have him join us. A really insightful conversation. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't go away. We are not done yet. One more insightful conversation coming your way after the break.